So what I want to do is I want to make a joint on the end of this brace for the sawmill shed, and it's going to be a 2-inch mortise that this is going to sit into. This is a 3-inch piece of wood, so I've got to take 1/2 inch off each side. Now the way I'm going to do this is using the compound miter saw, because I want a very accurate joint. I can do it with the chainsaw, but with the DeWalt, then I can set the depth on the side here. So you pull down this tab and adjust the thumb screw until you get the required depth of cut, and then I can cut through it at a 45-degree angle at the same time and get a very accurate joint on the end of that. Otherwise, if I do it by hand, it's slower, but also it's not so accurate, and I want it to be a tight fit. So we're going to try that. So a friend of the channel made a suggestion, and that is to make the cut on the end for the joint that I use the wood miser. So we're going to give that a try today. May as well see how accurately we can do it. I started off by making the first cut along the edge with the chainsaw for the depth, and then we'll set up the wood miser and see if we can just cut it just up to that point. We'll clamp it in place. I can see here the board has a little bit of a twist in it, so what I'll need to do is I'll need to clamp that down, otherwise the cut won't be level. Well, it's getting wet out here. Gonna have to put a raincoat on. Just goes to show how much I need a sawmill shed, so in winter I could work outside. We'll clean it and clamp this down so we can get an accurate cut. So it looks like it did a very good job. If the board isn't exactly touching the sawmill bed, then it will be slightly too deep. That's good. I think I'll check the other joints at the same time, just clean that up with a chisel. The only thing now is I've got to flip this board all the way around in order to get it on the cutting side, but that's okay. So let's see if we can clean up this other one. Okay, the board's a little bit warped. Clamp that down. I think from now on I'm going to do all my joints like this. It's a little bit difficult with the big pieces, trying to get them on the saw bed. This chainsaw, you can just take it to the joint, right? You don't have to move the wood. But I'm going to try doing the braces in the same way. Be a much more accurate cut. Just going to trim that off with a saw. Well, thank you for that, Jack. As usual, you're a mine of useful information. This is what it's all about, the learning curve. So now what I want to attempt to do here is cut the joint in the end of this brace, and it's at a 45-degree angle. So I'm going to have to clamp it into place, and I'll need to use something to line it up, like a straight edge. So it'll need to be straight in line with that. I'm going to cut it with a chainsaw, so there'll be a little bit of leeway there. So like I say, we're going to cut a bit with the chainsaw, so there'll be some room for maneuver. See if we can get it as straight as possible. It needs to be in a position where you can clamp it to the bar. Well, as you can see, that works a treat. Okay, let's flip it over and do the other side. Okay, so that's the 2 front posts and the beam and braces all installed. It looks all very strong. The rest of the shed can be built against this. It's a bit slow when you're working on your own. I put these extra braces in so I could put a lifting tackle in the center. Might be quite handy. That reduces the effective span to 10 feet rather than 20 feet. And those are 3 by 6, so they're pretty strong. And they're mortised into the posts. So I think it'll last for a very long time. Alright, I've got to have lunch. See you later.